Hi, everyone, and welcome to the very first episode of the new season of ANOKHI Uncensored at Ruckus Avenue Radio's new home, iHeartRadio. I would like to first of all congratulate the founders of Ruckus Avenue Radio, Sami, Anchal, and Raul, on this incredible growth milestone to get the station in front of so many listeners with the iHeartRadio partnership. As the world's #1 South Asian radio station and podcast platform, I'm thrilled for ANOKHI's continued relationship with Ruckus Avenue Radio, having been on their station since the very beginning. You guys know that. You can also watch us, as you know. All the episodes are on ANOKHI's YouTube and Facebook channels, as well as go over to LinkedIn X and join our free weekly newsletter, where you'll also get the opportunity to check that out and so much more. And by the way, anokhilife.com is where you can go and sign up for the free weekly newsletter. You guys know I'm your host, Girn, coming to you today in conversation with two globally renowned performing artists. Master hypnotist Asad Mecci, the brainchild behind an innovative show called HYPROV that has toured around the world to rave reviews since its inception in 2015, and comedic improv superstar and co-creator of HYPROV, the one and only Colin Mochrie, from the uber successful show, you guys know it, Whose Line Is It Anyway? They are here today to talk about their successful collaboration with HYPROV and its Toronto run this April the 9th through the 14th. So please welcome to the show ANOKHI Award winner Asad Mecci and the legendary Colin Mochrie himself. Hi, fellas. I'm so happy to be having this conversation with both of you. Thank you for agreeing to come on the show.
Thanks for having us. Always a pleasure.
Thanks, Raj.
Oh my gosh. Well, I have to start at a place that I feel everybody probably doesn't know. And that is what was it, that brought you guys together? I mean, who's brave enough to tell that part of your story before we roll into the HYPROV conversation?
Sure. I reached out to Colin through his website, a cold email, basically outlining the concept of marrying hypnosis and improv on stage for the first time. Jeff Andrews, his longtime manager, picked up the email, found it fascinating. I met with Colin. We put it up at the Second City main stage, and we had no rehearsal. We gave it a shot, and the rest is history. We've toured the show now globally, and we're coming back to Toronto, to our hometown. So it's pretty exciting.
Oh my gosh. And Colin, what was it about this then unknown crazy guy who had this crazier idea that you felt that I'm going to give this guy a chance? There's something in what he's talking about. There's something in what he does. I'd love for you to share that.
He had some incriminating photos of me, so I thought. um, I think I think the main reason was it immediately terrified me, which I think is a good thing for me. Whenever I'm terrified by something, I immediately think, "Oh, I'll head towards that and see what happens." Um, you know, I've been improvising for, let's just say, a long time, over a couple
Yes.
of years. And there is that fear of, getting comfortable. And so that's why I always try working with different people, different groups, just to keep me on my toes. And I thought, I certainly cannot be kept on my toes more than working with people I've never met before who are in a hypnotic trance. And in the case.
Oh my gosh, that's so hilarious. Well, I want to ask you, Asked the same question, really. I mean, it's obvious why you would, seek someone like Colin with his exceptional skill set, his long legendary history. But I would like you to maybe share a little bit as to what was it about Colin that you felt was the right fit for this concept?
So the concept around HYPROV is the part of the brain that deals with self-reflection becomes disconnected. So first-time improvisers, they'll play to the crowd, they'll look nervous, they'll look confused at times, they'll look like the hamster wheels turning in their head. Great improvisers like Colin just perform seamlessly and effortlessly. It looks like it's effortless for him. So with somebody who's hypnotized, The part of the brain that deals with self-reflection becomes disconnected. So they no longer reflect on their behavior, which makes for seamless improv. So I thought, wait a second, is it possible to hypnotize somebody and turn them into great improvisers? And then is it possible to raise the bar even further and bring in the world's greatest improviser to improvise with these people on stage while they're under hypnosis?
Absolutely.
I love that. It's funny because HYPROV is a collaboration of two genius minds, both of you. But it's also a first of its kind collaboration of two very different styles of performance, hypnotism and improvisation. So for those who haven't experienced the show like I have, can you guys share, from your own respective perspectives, what is it about this show that makes it different, makes it unique, other than the obvious? There's never been this marriage before you guys put this together.
Sure, I'll jump in here, Raj. Just to be clear about the format of the show, we bring up 20 volunteers on stage. I hypnotize them, whittle it down to the best subjects, and then Colin comes in and improvises with the people on stage while they're under hypnosis. We don't use plants. We've never met any of these people before. Every night is different because we're using random audience members on stage to get them to create an instant improv troupe with Colin. It is wild, it is wacky, it is like nothing you've ever seen before.
And Colin, oh my gosh, like I know that this is something that you've been doing for a very long time in terms of the improvisation side of things, but you can't really predict when someone's under hypnosis what's going to happen because you're dealing with a whole different ball game there. Can you share your experience, perhaps the first time you did this? You said that it was something that you found to be kind of frightening on a certain degree. Share that first time you went out on stage and Asad did his thing, and then you needed to do you, because everybody comes to see you in just your glory. And I'm sure there's a fear around, oh my God, like, am I going to be able to be the Colin Mochrie that everybody expects me to be in this environment? I'd love for you to share that.
Yes, I made a few mistakes the first show. First of all, not asking Assad exactly what was going on. Um, my first thing was I I asked him kind of just before we went on, hey, if I asked them to do this, will they do it? And he said, I don't know. It depends on the subject. Yes, some will immediately. Some maybe not so quickly. So I found that interesting. And through the first show was, I think, just both of us trying to survive because we truly had no idea, is this going to work? Is it just going to be a disaster? And it worked very well. And over the course of time we've done this, I think we both learned a lot about what we can do with our hypnotized people. I thought it's going to be me, doing traffic control, pushing them in here and there. And that's not the true. I learned that they are my improv partners. I give them a sentence. They immediately react to everything I say. They immediately react to every suggestion Assad gives them. So I'm dealing with real improvisers in that there's no preconceived ideas to them. They're immediately
Mhm.
reacting to everything I do. The downside, and it's not really a downside, it's just something I had to learn how to use, is for them, they're not working towards anything. When I'm working with the Who's Line people or other improvisers, as we're making things up, we're also working towards getting a resolution to the scene, figuring out what the ending will be. That doesn't happen with them. They're just truly, this is the only moment that they are aware of right now. There's just this, there's nothing else. So that makes it interesting for me also to sort of move them towards a kind of an ending, and then invariably they will screw me around and take us in a different direction, which is also exciting. It's exciting for the audience, it's exciting for the both of us.
Oh my gosh, I love it. And I've seen the show and I can absolutely attest to how hilarious it is. It's unbelievable that these people actually do what you tell them to do.
It's
But
amazing.
absolutely. I mean, the show has had many well-known comedic personalities grace the stage in addition to Colin Assad. Can you name some of them, and how the heck do you replace Colin? How does that happen?
Very hard to do, but we've been fortunate to have quite a number of interesting improvisers. We've had Jonathan Mangum from Let's Make a Deal. He's Wayne Brady's longtime improvising partner. We've had Stephanie Courtney Flo from the Progressive commercials, a very talented improviser. She had a big write-up in the New York Times recently. We've had Jeff Hiller from Somebody Somewhere, the HBO hit series. We've had Mindy Sterling from the Austin Powers franchise. Jeff, John Lutz from 30 Rock. The list goes on. It's really taken on a life of its own in that the show has really become the star. And we've had the opportunity to be able to work within the confines. I think not only is it about the improviser, but it really truly is about unlocking the inner comedic genius of these people on stage.
Hmm.
In one particular case, this improviser was so amazing and fantastic on stage that a CTV reporter followed him home. So this was I believe it was at the Chrysler Center in Windsor. So the CTV reporter that reported on the show prior to the show came and saw the show and thought this has to be rigged. There's no way that this is possible. Followed him home and found out that he has no improv background, no comedic background, and he was a custodian for the Catholic School Board.
Wow.
It's amazing. It's really about having ordinary people do extraordinary things on stage.
Hmm. Absolutely. And Colin, I want to ask you, have you ever experienced someone that just totally does not get it? That, you're going through your genius on stage and they're not following suit. Have you ever experienced that? And if you have, what have you done in those cases?
I don't think I've dealt with it with the hypnotized subjects. I've certainly dealt with it with people who aren't hypnotized. For some reason, just aren't getting it. You just kind of slow down, talk clearly, hope they catch on. But I have to say, one of the great things about doing HYPROV was I learned a lot of things that I thought were true about HYPROV were actually totally wrong. The
Hmm.
fact that they are aware the entire time, I did not know. So they will reference a scene, 5 scenes before that they weren't in, and bring it back. Reincorporation, we call in the improv world.
Hmm.
So um, I haven't found with the hypnotized subjects because they seem just they're so aware of everything. They don't ever seem confused, that they seem to be on top of it. They seem at times to be a little ahead of me every once in a while, which is very disconcerting.
So Asad, I have to ask you this because I know that even in, the corporate space, I know in, a lot of the other work that you do as well, where hypnotism is concerned, where a lot of people may not know is, and this is based off of what Colin just said, that people do get like uber focused. Like that is a big part of how hypnotism works for people to get successful in something they're trying to accomplish. Can you share that a little bit before we move on?
Sure, one definition of hypnosis would be focused attention. So people are cycling in and out of trance states all the time. Example would be daydreaming. Another example would be you're driving down the highway and you miss your exit because your mind is somewhere else. Highway hypnosis, it happens all the time. So
Hmm.
it's all about being able to focus and being able to use these trance states to your benefit.
Hmm. And that really works well because then when you are hypnotizing and Colin is directing them to certain, actions, certain emotions, and, we don't know what they're going to be. Obviously, it depends, I guess, even on their psychological state, I would imagine, right? Because everybody does things a little differently when instructed. I mean, I've seen that happen when you guys do this. So I feel that that's also something really interesting for people to know who have not come to see your show yet. Is it's very interesting to see how people perceive the words and the directions that they're given and what they do with them, which I think is fantastic. And that's the part you can't predict. But I do
It-
want to share with everyone. Yes, please go ahead.
No, I was going to say it's fascinating to watch how immersed the subjects get into the scenes. So the best way to describe a hypnotic trance state would be you watch a movie and you get so caught up in what you're watching that you're moved to a physiological response. So you watch a horror movie, your heart starts to race, your palms get sweaty. Logically, you know what you're watching on the big screen is not real, but for that moment in time, it feels really real. That's a hypnotic trance state. You watch a tearjerker and you start to cry because you're so immersed, right? That describes perfectly what occurs up on stage. These people get so entranced in the moment and so focused on that particular moment that they're moved to a physiological response. So again, it makes for incredible immersive improv.
Absolutely. So I want to come back to you, Colin. Looking back at your experience with this over the years, is there any, experience that stands out for you in terms of a reaction that you got from somebody that was hypnotized to any instruction that you gave? Like anything that could have that was maybe scary or, like really wild? Like, can you remember anything like that?
Yeah, I mean, there was nothing really scary, and Assad is great at making sure I'm safe throughout the entire show. Because yeah, I no, there's nothing. There have been moments where there was a we do a scene where it's a murder mystery, and then there's this femme fatale. I accuse her of the murder. Well, one night we had this woman who was um, an incredible subject. She was so tranced out. She was our star, and so I accused her of it, and she started to cry and went, "No, no!" I said, "And you're going to the electric chair," and she started crying more. And so I said, "Listen, listen, listen. If you promise not to murder anyone ever again, I'll let you go." And she went, "Yeah, yeah." And that was, we've never had anything. We've had other weird things where someone has all of a sudden turned the tables on me and made it seem like I've insane and that the entire thing that's just been happening up to now is all in my mind and no one's around and it's just me in some insane asylum somewhere. So things like that are interesting because, as I say, I've been doing this for 40 years and they come up with things that real improvisers wouldn't. And I love how it keeps both of us on our toes. And, you know, there's no point during the show where Assad and I can just kind of take a little break in our brains and just go elsewhere, daydream for a while. We have to be constantly focused.
And that's what makes it just the genius collaboration that it is. I mean, the show has been touring globally since 2016 with a stint off Broadway and also a Vegas residency, no less. It's gotten rave reviews wherever it's played, even with the critics, and excellent write ups in media like the New York Times, the Wall Street Journal, and the New Yorker, no less. I want to ask you guys, what have you found to be what people like most about the show? I mean, that might be a difficult one, but is there a common denominator that you find always seems to be what shows up for people's experiences? Tell me,
For
both
me,
of you.
for me, it's always the people in the audience that are laughing the hardest are the people who know the people on stage. So they know that they're not plants. They're all of a sudden their brother-in-law is in a romance scene with Colin and is fully committed. And they just can't believe it. They are dumbfounded and slack-jawed and awestruck at the scene where their mother is on stage battling wits with Colin Mochrie from Who's Line. It's surreal. And to get the feedback from the people afterwards, and when they go back to their seats, they're heroes. Like their
Of
family
course.
and friends are just patting them on the back, cheering them on. Because I think that the main thing in this show is we're not out to embarrass anybody. We're it's
You
good.
liar. You liar.
We're out to again, it's about unlocking the creative genius of these people and making them look good and knowing that they're part of the improv troupe. And for that night and that night alone, we actually create an instant improv troupe and it'll never be seen again. It's that
Mhm.
moment in time. So it's really magical to see the show live.
Yeah.
Mhm.
Excited actually, Raj. I didn't get a chance to mention this, and you might want to. I don't know where you're going to put this in on the interview, but we've extended because we've got such popular demand. So we're
Oh my gosh.
from 9 to the 14th. We're now April 9th to the 21st. We've extended a week because of the demand for ticket sales.
Oh my gosh. Well, we're going to leave it right there in that spot. We're going to let everyone know right there. This is incredible news. This just makes me so happy. And this is also a testament to something that I feel needs to be really, stated here, that, a lot of people go elsewhere, to go and get their fame and fortune when it comes to the entertainment industry. They leave Canada. What they don't realize is look at the support. Look at how many people appreciate theater, appreciate the entertainment industry here in Canada, that, we need more support for the arts here in this country. This is a testament to that. It's incredible. Colin, I'd love your thoughts as well on this. Your experience of having done this so many times, it doesn't get old because it's always a new show, as Asad said. What has changed, if anything, over the years for you since the inception? It's been what, about 7 years now that this has been rolling around?
Yeah, I've actually, at least I hope I have. I think I've become a better improviser because I've really learned how to listen more. Because with the guys from Who's Line or other improvisers that I know them. So I know, even though we're making up everything, I can sort of see, okay, oh, I bet they're going to go in this direction and this. I don't have that with these people. I cannot make any assumptions. I truly have to live as they are in this moment. So that's been really good for me.
Hmm.
And just, I mean, in a way, it's been bad for me, showing that anyone can really improvise if they just get out of their own way. I mean,
Hmm.
that's the only thing that's stopping people. It's that part of the brain that says, "Hey, I can't do this. That's insane. I can't make." We have people up there singing Broadway songs, riding fake horses in a western, and totally committed to it. And there's no embarrassment. They have become improvisers. So it's just been a great experience.
And oh, to be that in life, hey? Oh,
Yeah.
to be genuinely who you need to be in life. There's an underlying message right there as well. Well, I mean, before we talk about the show and its April run here in Toronto, I want to ask you both, what's the next item on your bucket list for the show, since it's checked off all of the usual suspects that make it a bona fide success? Is there anything?
I guess the Broadway musical version of it. We have to work on that. Then we do the movie of that, and then the musical movie of that.
Oh my God, that's
I'm
hilarious.
with Colin.
Asad, how about you, honey?
I'm with Colin. The musical version of HYPROV. I will tell you that it's pretty fun to watch Colin sing with hypnotized volunteers on stage, and that actually happens in this version of HYPROV.
Yeah.
Oh my God, I cannot wait. So let's go there. Let's talk about it returning to Toronto from April the 9th to
21st now.
the 21st. It's extended, guys. April the 9th to the 21st, and it's at the CAA Theatre, a Mirvish property, no less. I gotta ask you, tell everyone what's so special about doing it at a Mirvish property. Please share that, guys, for those people who aren't theatre goers.
I've gone to, you know, shows like Mamma Mia, Come From Away, these incredible watershed moments in musical theater and other kinds of theaters. And to be a part of that is, it's a great honor. So I think we're pretty excited. And I think we're really excited to be able to do this show in the same place for 2 weeks, as opposed to getting on a flight at 4 in the morning and flying off to God knows where. So, and I think we're excited to bring it to our hometown. So,
Absolutely.
The Mirvishes are the Broadway of Canada. So being able to perform with such an incredible organization, legendary organization, it's a dream come true.
Absolutely. So I want to kind of roll into what it is that's special about the show here in Toronto from April the 9th to the 21st. Is there anything that you can share that perhaps maybe a little bit different from what you normally do?
I think that we've been building out new material over the last year of traveling and performing. When we were in Vegas, we were working on new material. When we were traveling and performing on the East Coast, we are trying out new and West Coast. Truly, we've traveled the country and done a nationwide tour. So it's exciting to come home and perform in Toronto proper. We've never actually performed in Toronto proper. We've performed just outside of the downtown core to sell out crowds, but this is the first time that we're going to be performing downtown, which is really exciting. And the fans have been fantastic. I'm so excited that we've extended that second week.
Oh, that's
Yeah.
incredible. How about you, Colin? How do you feel coming back home?
Good. I'm excited, and I think we've also got more comfortable with the show, obviously
Hmm.
over the years we've done it, and also in the last little while we've gotten more comfortable with actually coming up with an idea on the day of the show and going, why don't we try this and see what happens? And so far, knock on wood, they've worked out. So I'm looking forward to that, just to see how. I think we're constantly finding out how far we can push our uh, hypnotized improvisers.
And so I guess everyone's going to get to see a little bit of a different version. All of you guys out there who have been to a number of the shows like I have, I really recommend that you go check out this one. We've got to go grab those tickets because clearly, there's a demand out there for it. There's an extension now. We're going from April the 9th to the 21st. Where can people go grab those tickets, Asad?
You can go to mirvish.com and you'll be able to grab tickets there. You can also Google us. The name of the show is HYPROV, and it's HYPROV.
Perfect. And is there anything I haven't covered that you'd like to share about the Toronto run or the show in general?
The show is family friendly. You have to be 18 or older to volunteer, but we have had young people enjoy this show all over North America and the world. It's just a fun, kind of goofy show. It's not hard hitting satire, but you'll have a couple of good laughs, I assure you.
Absolutely. Assad, any final words there?
The show's fast paced, it's action packed, it's high energy, and above all else, hilarious because you've got an improv legend in the show, Mr. Colin Mochrie from Who's Line.
Yes.
I believe the world's greatest improviser was what you said before. So
Oh, my apologies,
yeah,
sir.
let's stick with that.
I love it. And a master hypnotist, no less. Guys, what a pleasure to have you guys come on. I'd love to also have people go hang out with you on social media with all the other great things that you guys are doing. Could you please share that with everyone watching, listening, and reading this today?
So you'll go to hypprov.com. All of our social media channels are there. Please like and follow.
Oh, good, because I can't remember any of my usernames.
I don't think anyone is going to have any trouble finding you, Colin.
They'll find some Colin Mochrie. It may
No.
not be someone.
Absolutely. And one more time, what is it that people, anyone out there who's on the fence? Let's deal with those fences. Anyone on the fence that's not too sure if this is something that want to go and check out, what would you say to them? Both of you, please.
This is a unique theatrical experience. We were nominated by the Off-Broadway Alliance for Best New Unique Theatrical Experience in 2023. It is like nothing you've ever seen before. It is, I mean, I love musicals and I love plays. This show doesn't resemble either of them, but also at the same time does. It is a weird concoction that is zany, funny, and wacky and hilarious. And we don't take ourselves that seriously. It is a lot of fun. So come out and check out the show.
And
Absolutely.
we have people come to the show who are skeptics in the world of improv and in the world of hypnosis. And I think by the end of the show, we have successfully converted them because there is no way that what we're doing can be scripted in any way. It's just not possible.
Absolutely. Folks, I really encourage you to grab your tickets now before it's too late, because trust me when I say that the show is that good. You know it's that good when I say that. I've caught it a number of times over a number of the years, and even saw the run at Off-Broadway. And each time I have, the audience has been in gales of laughter. I laugh So loud every single time. And you know what it is about laughter? We all know this, right? It just makes you feel good at the end of the day. You remove all of what it was that you were thinking about that may have been stressing you out, causing anxiety. And life does that, right? But there's just something special about laughter from the gut that just changes and cleanses all of that. You don't want to miss it. And you do not want to not invite all the people that you know. Bring your parents, bring the kids, bring your friends, bring your coworkers. Trust me, they will thank you. And you gorgeous humans, thank you so much today. I love the fact that we got to share space and let everyone who is watching, listening, and reading this enjoy just how fabulous the both of you are. Thank you so much for coming on. I genuinely appreciate both of you.
Thank you so much for having us on, Raj.
Thank you, Raj.
Absolutely. And I'll see you both on opening night. I cannot wait. Thank you again. Guys, I will see you all next time on ANOKHI Uncensored. Please stay connected with us everywhere at ANOKHI Lifestyle. And don't forget to sign up for that free weekly newsletter. You guys know that you just got to hop on over to anokhilife.com and you'll get exclusive giveaways, content, and be the first to be notified of whatever it is that we're doing in our world. Thank you so much for tuning in. Please make sure you share this episode with everyone you know, because you know that it's one for the books. Thank you so much for sharing space and time with me. I love you all. See you next time.